Hey guys, so I saw this post. Ethan Klein, fair use proponent, openly violates copyright of Jubilee Media video after crew member AB admits to flipping video to avoid a copyright strike. And this individual is a fan of Frogan. He is a fan of Denims and a fan of Kaceytron. His response would be then to tag them as if this is some type of evidence they can use on their copyright infringement case. Now, is Ethan Klein guilty of copyright infringement? Well, it kind of depends on how much of the video he used. It depends on how much commentary he had. Does this sound familiar? It should sound familiar, right? So if you just played the video, let's say the video is an hour long and you played a whole hour long video, and you don't really add very much to it and it's not transformative, then yes, that would be copyright infringement. But Ethan, being I would call him a older player in this game, quite knowledgeable about copyright. In fact, in terms of YouTubers who would know about copyright law, Ethan would probably be on the top of that pyramid. Yes, this is not copyright infringement, so it is a little hilarious. So maybe we need a breather. So a lot of content creators, even now with this huge copyright lawsuit, and I'm happy. It is definitely good news for me as a copyright attorney for over 10 years, maybe 12 years. It's over 10 years for sure. To tell you, hey, to give you guys some information about what is and what is not fair use. So fair use is a legal doctrine in US copyright law that allows limited use of the copyright material without needing to get permission from the copyright holder. Now, of course, if you ask the copyright holder, is it okay? And they say yes, that would be a license, right? I do a lot of that in my week to week. Licensing is very common, but fair use is if you don't want to ask the copyright holder and you just want to talk about it because maybe it came out really recently, it's a news story, and we'll get to news stories a little later. Yeah, fair use is used every single day by almost every single content creator in some way. It's designed to balance the interests of copyright owners with the public interest of freedom of expression, education, commentary, and innovation. So, what are common examples of fair use? Criticism and commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, parody, or satire. So there are 4 factors that we look at in fair use, and I'm going to run. First of all, I'll run Ethan's use here, and it's important to know that he did not use the majority of the video. He used, I think, 6-7 minutes from what I saw out of a video that was over an hour long. So it is very limited in scope. So the purpose and character of the use, is it for commercial or nonprofit educational use? Here, you can argument it's, for commercial. You can argue that it's nonprofit educational. It depends, right? When people donate, super chat, what is that? Is that commercial? But if it's educational, is it nonprofit? I don't know. I mean, you can argue either way in court. Is the use transformative? Does it add a new expression or meaning? And I would say, in this case, check for Ethan's video. Nature of the copyrighted work. Using factual works, biographies, is more likely to be fair than using creative works, novels, or music. So the nature of the work is it is Jubilee Media. They cover the news, right? And you could argue here you could just put like maybe, maybe not, right? But it's 4 factors in determining it's fair. And any of these factors could make it fair, or any of these factors could make it unfair. So I would say that this is kind of a creative work. Number 3, amount and substantiality. So using small, less important parts favor fair use. So this is definitely a smaller part. Using the heart of the work may weigh against it, even if the excerpt is short. So now we look at the portion that Ethan had out of the whole video. Was it like a summary? Was it a explanation? No. So I think number 3, you can check mark for Ethan. And effect on the market. Does the use harm the market for the original or its potential market? I would say no, because a short amount was used. You would still actually be more encouraged to watch the entire video. And that's typically why news channels are okay with this, right? They're not going to remember, anyone can sue anyone in America for anything at any time. That's just the truth. I'm a lawyer. I'm telling you the truth. I'm a lawyer in the U.S., practicing law in the U.S. I can tell you, as someone who's been sued myself, that yeah, you can be sued for outrageous things. Doesn't mean that they're going to win. Does not mean they're going to win, but you can be sued for anything. Let's just kind of get to the point. If you look at these 4 factors and you apply them to Frogan, Denims, I'm just going to put them in a group. It's unfair to put them in a group, but for the simpleness of the channel, let's do it. The purpose of the character. So let's just use Denim for example. Is it for commercial or nonprofit educational use? In this case, it is for commercial use, because at the very end of the video or the end of the live stream, Denim says, hey, throw me a Twitch Prime sub if you like this stuff, right? So she's trying to make money from it, i.e. commercial. Is the use transformative? In Denims, it is not. In my personal opinion, as a copyright attorney for over 10 years, it does not add any new expression or meaning. So XX, right? Using factual works is more likely to be fair than creative works. So the Hassan Nuke, that's kind of creative. Yeah, that's a creative work, I would say. So again, a X against Denims. Amount in substantiality. Using small, less important parts favor fair use. So she used the whole thing, and then she re-uploaded the whole thing on her channel. Yes, this is everything. It is not. There's no argument here that it was not a small amount. It was not a less important part. Using the heart of the work may weigh against it. Okay, I mean, it's the entire work. So yeah, the heart is part of wherever the heart can be found and wherever the heart can be argued, the entire work was taken. So boom, boom, right? A little X there. And effect on the market. So this is where the H3 snark comes in mind, where they're literally saying, hey, people who don't want to watch the Hassan Nuke or give Ethan support, you guys can watch her. You can watch Denims. And it's like, so you have 4 factors in fair use, and Denims is XXXX. This would be a clear example of copyright infringement. What would not be a clear example of copyright infringement would be Ethan's use of the Jubilee media. A, because he doesn't use all of it, or he uses a small amount compared to the entire amount. B, he adds commentary. And C, in all frankness, this should be obvious to anyone who watched Ethan's video. It was transformative. Like, he is commentating on the video. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Bye, guys.